Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You got the Pokemon Professor here, and today I'm bringing you my Week 5 team builder of the KCDL. This week we take on the one and only Pup Stromboli and his South Bend Snowflakes. Pup's my dude. I love Pup. He is such a good guy, and he's really been on the up and up lately. He actually is getting ready to play in the PPL. Not only did he win the last season of ICP, but I played him in BBRD League, and just overall good dude. I got nothing bad to say about the guy. But actually I do have something bad to say. The last time we played, he beat me off a weakness policy Keldeo crit. So I'm coming back. I'm trying to catch my return arc or whatever. But Pup, good dude. Go sub to him. He's got a real threatening team. He's got a Lunala, Tinglu, Tera Chi-yu, Blastoise, Dragonite, Sneasler, Tera Comfey, Jumplup, and Basculin. But before we get into what I'm bringing, I do want to say that we are 8 subs away at the time of recording this from 400. And hitting 400 would just be super cool, super cool. So if you haven't already, drop a sub. So, Pup looking at his team, I definitely think the Lunala comes. I watch Pup stuff, I've played against Pup. I know he's kind of an odd team builder. Yes, Lunala does get the Shadow Shield ability, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's, Power Herb, Meteor Beam, or something like that. I know it gets agility. Basically, I don't really expect him to be Boots. He could be Boots, but I want to prepare for both opportunities. So kind of thinking some kind of Spadef monster of a thing and just hit super hard. Tinglu, honestly, I think it could be Choppleberry, could be leftovers Choppleberry specifically for my John Wick trying to take the body press, could be leftovers just for overall annoyance. I think he could be some kind of Spikes Whirlwind to kind of phase out John Wick, get rid of its +1, eat the hit with the Choppleberry, things like that. Tera Chi-yu, a fucking threat. The thing's just a monster. Terra-wise, I could see Grass, truth be told. Because you've got the Dark Pulse for Giratina Origin. You've got the Flamethrower, Fire Blast for Zamazenta Crown. I think Terra Grass hits stuff like the Excadrill, the Alomomola, the T-Tar, all the things that may naturally want to switch into it. The Ogerpon, like if I try to bring that because I see he's Terra Grass, honestly I think he's going to be some kind of like Flame Charge set. If not that, just Specs, because the thing hits so hard. So definitely think Tera Chi-yu. I want to say Terra Grass if I just have to. I could see Terra Fighting as well for something like the T-Tar. Just a good overall neutral, being able to hit stuff like that doesn't want to take a fire move. So Blastoise, kind of sorta. I could definitely see Blastoise coming. I think it could be some kind of annoying Icy Wind. I don't even know what else. Earthquake, physical for certain things like the Muck, like the T-Tar, probably Aurasphere for the Zamazenta Crown and the T-Tar as well. Flip Turn to try to catch momentum, get in the Chi-Yu, things like that. D-Knight, I think, could come for sure. I think it's one of the better brings against me. Being able to pack something like the Hurricane and catch me off guard if you're a spec set with the Zamazenta Crown. It does have all kinds of other crazy coverage moves, T-Bolt for the Mola, Icy Wind for speed control, trying to hit the Giratina Origin, things like that. Or it could just be some kind of late game sweeper with D-Dance, right? You've got the extreme speed to out-prioritize Excadrill and Sand. I know it's not super effective, but you get up to like a +2 or something like that, try to catch me on a greedy speed tier, or maybe I'm not packing Icy Wind on Alomomola and you get in +2, yada yada. Sneasler, I kind of expect it to be banned this week. It does outspeed everything on my side of the field outside of the Zamazenta Crown. You could be Adamant Scarfed, you could be Unburdened with like a Citrus Berry, or really Air Balloon Unburdened is something that I'm scared of. CC, Dire Claw because hacks, and then SD, don't know what other kind of move you could bring. Could see Tera Comfey coming. If you do bring Tera Comfey, I'm thinking kind of Tera Fire. kind of hits his almost into crown. You could be something like Tera Ghost trying to set up, if I don't pack the body slam, or not the body slam, the heavy slam on Zombies into crown. Could be something for the Excadrill trying to, just gain a resist, be Tera Fly. That could be a pain in the ass. If it does come, I expect some kind of calm mindset. Jump Luff, I know I'm going through every mon, but Pup could bring some crazy stuff. Jump Luff, I think if it does come, it's going to be some kind of Tailwind acrobatic set. And then Basculin, if it does come, Mystic Water, Choice Band, the Aqua Jet priority could be nice for late game. Just bopping with the Wave Crash, with Adaptability, Rockhead, something like that. So honestly, not going to be surprised if anything comes from Pup, but my money's on the top 6. So with the top 6 in mind, the first mon that I'm bringing this week is Shrek. 252 in my attack, 252 in my speed, Jolly Nature. Love its speed tier, right? I think it's going to be somewhat of a momentum game. I think if I'm Pup, I'm playing the hazard game. I'm trying to get up rocks and then maybe 1 or 2 spikes, trying to pressure that Zombies into crown. Because I think if you can pressure the Zombies into crown, either a Scarf or a Specs Chi-yu set just goes in. And then especially with an agility set on Lunala, right? So if you're able to pressure my defensive pieces, I think that that's the win con, in my opinion, if I'm Pup. So I really like Ogerpon to kind of take advantage of that and really hit the Tinglu. I talked about Chi-yu being something like Terra Grass. I am running Trailblaze this week because if he is not Scarfed, we outspeed naturally. And then even if he is Scarfed, we get up the +1 from Trailblaze. I will gladly U-turn out, right? I'll lose that +1 speed against the Chi-yu. I do know Pup has ran Terra Fire Choice Specs because nothing wants to switch into a Fire Blast. So I am running the Stomping Tantrum to hit that thing, the Stomping Tantrum to maybe catch the Banded Sneasler off guard as well, right? And then outside of that, knockoff's going to be really nice. Being able to get rid of any kind of rocky helmets on a Tinglu, a Choppleberry, Scarf specs on Chi-yu, a lot of U's there. Overall, I just really like Ogerpon this week. And another mon that I'm bringing that I like is going to be my No Face, my Giratina Origin. Earth Power, Shadow Sneak, Energy Ball, and Icy Wind. 72 in my defense, 188 in my special attack, 204 in my SpDef, and then 44 in my speed with a Timid Nature. Little bit of random speed there, and that's honestly just to kind of get the speed jumps on stuff. There are a lot of things that could potentially outspeed it, such as a Dragonite, such as a Blastoise. So being able to maybe catch my opponent off guard could be really useful. Icy Wind, not only does it hit the Dragonite, but maybe I've gone for the Shadow Sneak and I've picked off something like the Lunala or a Dragonite or yada yada. And then you try to bring in the Chi-yu or something like that, being able to, thinking you can set up. Icy Wind speed control is just super nice, super nice. Energy Ball gives me a way to hit the Tinglu and the Blastoise for super effective damage. Shadow Sneak, really just there for the priority, right? I want to break Lunala's Shadow Shield if he has boots this week. I want to try to catch a Comfey thinking he can set up Calm Minds impotently. I am minus attack with my Timid Nature, but base 120, Grecius Orb, I'm still kind of hidden, truth be told. And then Earth Power is just solid neutral. Hits the Sneasler. Lunala doesn't necessarily want to take that. Tinglu doesn't want to take that. SpDef bulk-wise, basically it makes Dark Pulse from a Modest Chi-yu, a 2-hit KO after rocks. And I'm definitely thinking Modest this week. Could see Boots with the Flame Charge set. Again, could be something else. Could just be straight up Scarf Modest to try to get the jump on the Zombies into Crown. So we know we can live one after rocks, which is nice. And then I do also, talking about some of the speed, a little note I wrote down is outspeeding the Sneasler after the Icy Wind if he is going to be the Jolly Band or something like that. Something I'm going to need this week to win is my John Wick Zombies into Crown. I've got the Body Press, Psychic Fangs, Ice Fangs, and Crunch. Hope you like that sound effect. I've got 144 in my attack, 252 in my defense, and then 112 in my speed with a Jolly Nature. Honestly, I think Sneasler, if it comes, is going to be the Adamant Scarf Set or Jolly Choice Band. Either way, I'm not outspeeding it. So I went with like the next speed tier that I can, such as a Jump Luff. And I've got the ice thing for it, right? Jump Luff, I think if he does bring it, probably no item acrobatics. Could be Citrus Berry to get the tailwind up and then get the boost in acrobatics because it's not super bulky. Body Press, max defense, just hits. Just hits. I do have to watch out for Tera Ghost on things, and even just a straight up Lunala. But if he does try to bring the Lunala in, I do have the Crunch. I talked about Pup being aggressive, and I don't expect boots on the Lunala or Chi-yu. I think he's going to be, like I said, the Meteor Beam, the whatever else, the Specs or something like that. So I kind of expect those Shadow Shields and the Multi-Scale on Dragonite, that's the other mon, to be broken. And with my attack investment, if it is, I'm really hitting with the Crunch and the Ice Fang. So I expect John Wick to come in, get the +1. I just need to make sure that Ting Lu's item is removed if it is a Choppleberry, and that he's not Tera Ghost on anything else. With our defense boost when we come in, we make Adamant CC from Choice Scarf Sneasler a 3-hit KO. And then, if he is the Unburdened set, +2 Adamant CC, we still live as well. So that's going to be really nice for John Wick. T-Tar, right? Kaiju number 8 is my next mod. Max HP, max Fidef, Careful Nature. Knockoff, Low Kick, Ice Fang, and EQ. This is my Lunala switch. I expect whatever Tera type Chi-yu is, it's going to be able to handle my T-Tar, so I don't want to use it as such this week. I want it to be able to go for a little bit of chip damage with the Sandstream. I want it to break the Shadow Shield, even if he has boots. I want it to be able to set up sand for my Excadrill later on. Overall, I just want it to be kind of annoying. I want it to come in and be able to maybe take a hit or just go for the knockoff whenever Lunala goes for something and then lose something else's item, right? Still take advantage of stuff. Be able to get rid of the air balloon on Sneasler. Maybe CC isn't just the immediate click or they get greedy. I get to go for the EQ as they set up. The Ice Fang hits the Dragonite, right? Low Kick is there specifically for the Ting Lu, things like that. Not only does it handle the Lunala, but depending on the Comfey set as well, we can take a couple Draining Kisses and we just kind of hit. We get rid of leftovers with the knockoff. We do a little bit of damage with the EQ so we aren't just set up fodder, things like that. Another mon, the Bring of the Week. I keep saying all these mons I need this week, but a necessity is going to be Vodka. My Tera Poison Mesprint. Max HP, max defense, 8 in my special attack with a relaxed nature. Ice Beam, Psychic Noise, Stealth Rock, and U-Turn. This is my dedicated Sneasler switch. I really want Rocks up, right? I think this is going to be my lead because Tera Poison, honestly, there's nothing Sneasler can do to me. I can take a +2 Throat Chop. I can take a +2 Acrobatics. I kill it with the Psychic Noise, right? You want to switch into the Ting Lu, well, I get up my Rocks, and that's going to be huge because I want to be able to get consistent chip damage. I want to force Chi-yu to take that 25% before it tears. I want to break the Shadow Shield on Lunala. I want Ting Lu to suffer. I want Dragonite to lose its multi-scale because I kind of expect a policy set or something like that, maybe even a Yachi Berry. So I want to be able to break all the nonsense stuff and U-turn, right? If you are the Scarf, if you are the band on Sneasler, we eat hits for days with our leftovers. So being able to just get up rocks and then U-turn out every single time that this thing comes in. I'm trying to find something that can take advantage of the Ting Lu, such as my No Face, such as my Shrek, right? Kind of get them into that U-turn thing. Just being able to pivot in and out and bring stuff in, causing them to take chip damage. And then Ice Beam's there. Not only does it hit the Dragonite and the Jump Luff, also kind of hits the Ting Lu. There you're bringing Sneasler, pup. I know you are, so I'm not above asking for hacks. Let me catch a freeze. Let me catch a freeze this week. But my last one is going to be my Underminer. Heavy Duty Boot, Sand Rush, Excadrill. EQ, Rock Slide, Shadow Claw, and Caesar. Tera Ghost. I said that Mesprit is going to be my lead dedicated Tera captain this week, turn 1. I guess Pup could not bring Sneasler, but I know that's one of his favorite draft mods. So Tera Ghost may be the bring as well, right? Just in case. I think being able to eat something like the EQ from Ting Lu, Maybe it forces them not to go for the E-Speed on Dragonite. It allows me to take whatever move, right? I'm not living anything from Chi-yu, but if you've got the Aura Sphere and Blastoise and you're like Shell Smash, it kind of causes the 50-50. Maybe you're running Aura Sphere over something like the Dark Pulse, right? And then EQ, Rock Slide, Shadow Claw, X Scissor, really just hit everything on my opponent's side of the field. X Scissors, the Ting Lu, like I said, Terra Grass, Chi-yu may be the bring. Getting the stab chance, excuse me, stab bonus with Shadow Claw and the high crit ratio. That's why I'm running Shadow Claw over the Terra Blast this week with Terra Ghost. And then Rock Slide, right? Let me catch a flinch. Please. Let me catch a flinch. Also hits the Jump Bluff, which could be something like max defense, max HP, you know, or at least I think it gets strength sap, so a flinch may be the difference. Speed tier, running enough to outrun Jolly, Unburden, Sneasler. So yeah, that'll be my week 5 match. Right now, Pup and I are tied at 3-1, I want to say, or whatever we are for first seed. He is above me because the Southwind Snowflakes have a kill or 2 extra on me. So I'm hoping by the end of this, not only are we at a 1 seed, but we put him a couple kills down. So with that, I will catch you guys in the match. Peace.